What?
She's terrible.
We are live here with the Black Motivation Broadcast. We're here with DJ R.E.D and Diamond, and we are so extremely excited to have both of you guys on the show.
And we're thankful
very
that you invited us. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm so excited. This is my first couples interview, y'all. First two for one. So excited. Hey. Well, in normal fashion.
Yeah.
Well, in normal fashion, let's hop straight into this interview, y'all. So how did you guys meet? And how did your mutual love of music impact your growth in your relationship?
Do you want to tell that story? Because that's a story.
Yeah. Believe it or not, we actually met on a telephone chat. What would they call it? Like a dating site.
Yeah.
We actually met on a dating site.
Okay.
And at the time, we were both living in Atlanta.
Nice.
And when I met her, it was like 3 months before I was getting ready to move from Atlanta to Jacksonville, Florida, which is where I am now.
Which was 6 months before I moved back to Long Island, New York, where I'm from.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we met, and we went out a few times, but at the time I wasn't even thinking relationship or anything because she was.
I was not gonna lie. When I met him, I was like, "So that's my husband." It's okay.
Yeah.
Hey.
But at the time, I was so focused on moving, to Jacksonville. So, but we still stayed in contact. But from a distance, because she met someone, I had met someone, but we want to just, be respectful. And every now and then I check on her, she'd check on me. And long story short, I broke up with who I was with. She broke up who she was with.
Yeah. And
I invited her to come down. And
then I was like, so literally this was the night that I came down. Literally he picked me up from the airport. And we came back to his house. I was like, so I'm your girlfriend? He was like, well, okay. And then I stayed for the weekend. I hopped back on a plane. I went back to New York. I actually went from the airport to my job and closed my store because I was a restaurant manager at the time. And about a week later, he was calling me because he was like, I miss you. Like, I didn't realize how much of a connection we really had.
Yeah.
And I was like, me too. So the whole time we're both trying to figure out how we're going to make this work because you're in Florida, I'm in New York. And it just so happened the person that was my leader at the time kind of threw me under the bus. So I wound up getting fired.
Oh, wow.
Which was okay because I was like, you know what? It's a blessing in disguise because I could not figure out how we were going to make this work. So about some family issues did pop up or whatever. And then about a week after that, it was like a month after that. Yeah. He was like, I don't want to be without you anymore. So I wound up moving in with him permanently the day after Christmas.
Yep.
That is amazing. That's such a beautiful story. And for everyone who's tuning in with us on Facebook or whether you're tuning in with us on YouTube at Black Truth Media, our social media pages, thank you so much for joining us and for participating. Yes.
And second part of the question, right?
The second part of the question.
Oh, how did our mutual love of music affect our relationship? I did tell him because we're not married yet.
It's coming.
It's coming. We're in the process of that. But I explained to him if he ever stopped playing house music, I would divorce him before the marriage.
Yep. Now, another thing, too, before she moved down here and she was still in New York, she was working her job. I mean, we would talk for endless hours. I mean,
sun up to sundown.
Sun up to sundown, and sleep in between. And, I would do a radio show online. And what I would do is I would send her the link so she could listen.
Right.
And I guess at the time,
I know where you're going with this.
No, I'm just saying at the time you didn't know, how, in your opinion, how good I sound and how my music and my DJing kind of like motivated you at work. I mean, she works at Checkers. She actually took her computer, ran it through the speakers, running all through.
So what I actually would do, and me and my assistant manager at the time would do this. I had 2 Bluetooth speakers. I had one in the back for the crew and myself at my desk. And then I had one in my little lobby area where you can walk up and order your food.
Yeah.
And whenever he would do his show, we would both put it on at the same time on our phones, and we would connect to 2 different speakers and play it throughout the building.
Wow, that's awesome.
Literally remember this. You were playing some set, and you were playing you were playing some song by Prince, and like this troop leader came in there with the Boy Scouts and stuff, and they started dancing. They started dancing around the lobby to the point that they completely forgot why they walked in there, completely forgot to order their food. They're just all dancing or whatever. The lady's like, oh my God. She's like, he's making me have such a nostalgic moment right now. She's like, ooh, I remember what I was doing when this song came out. I was like, I don't want to know what you were doing when this song came out. Right? It feels like that might be taking this a little bit left in his children present. So
you know.
She was like, she was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and order. I was like, you know what? That might be good considering you're at a restaurant. You've been dancing for about 15 minutes. So yeah.
Yeah. But to finish the question, basically when she did move in with me, and you know, because she considered me to be a dope DJ.
Oh yes.
And it's like, why aren't you playing out? Now, honestly, I will admit, you know, yes, I'm a DJ, I'm a producer, and yes, I have my own record label. I'm good at that. I'm not a promoter. I mean, I'm the guy, I stay in my lane.
Right.
And I know being a promoter it's a whole nother level. And I said that I would rather have someone else, you know, do promoting while I can focus on the music, the, you know, record label and all that kind of stuff. Well, she decided to give it a shot at trying to be, you know, pretty much a promoter. She has no experience in promotion or anything. I mean,
I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Yeah.
I walked into that so blind.
Yeah.
And then you're doing it well, you know what I mean? So hey.
Yeah. And even when she tried to reach out to some people that I knew, I guess you could go with that story.
I'll put it to you like this. In my personal opinion, because that I feel like that's going to be up for another topic later on in the interview. But the way this shaped up was, I know his capabilities, and I love his heart. I love his drive. I love his motivation. But I'm the type of person, and this might just be the New Yorker in me. I do not like when someone tells you what you can't do. Because I'm always going to be that person to not only show you what I can do, but I'm going to exceed even my own expectations. So all of this came to pass when I moved in with him, and I realized that nobody wanted to give him a fair shot. I said, okay, I'll create him one.
There you go. And, you know, due to how well you know him, you are uniquely positioned to do that, right? And so talk a little bit about that, Dakiesha. And then R.E.D, how do you think your unique partnership with her has benefited you as well as other artists in Jacksonville?
Oh, it has benefited me dramatically. I mean, the fact that it's like everybody like now that has heard me and know about Red Dime Promotions, they actually want to deal with us now. And when they hear me, it's like, oh wow, you know, you really sound good. It's like no place we can go where people like want to deal with us. As far as the artists that's what DJs is, I would say, it's helped out because now that my name is out there, I'm looking for DJs who didn't get their fair shot like I did. Right. So I'm putting them out there under Red Dime Promotions as well, so they can be heard. And I'm not, even though they may sound as good as me, better, or not so well, I still give them a shot because I feel like everybody needs to be heard.
Yeah.
And the thing is, with house music, there's no color in my eyes. Right. I don't care what race you are. House has always been a culture, no different than hip hop.
Exactly.
And so I just, being with her, yes, it's giving me an opportunity to shine, as well as give other people a chance to shine. Because what I realized is, what a lot of DJs hear is that they were following like a couple people that I guess was supposed to be in charge down here, so they would only play a certain style, and they were in their mind, they've been trained to only play that style.
Yeah.
So now they come with us, and they look at us like, okay, what do we play? I'm like, we don't care what style you play, just bring your A game.
That is the only.
And so, with that being said, I mean, some of the DJs play, and it's like, wait a minute, you didn't sound like that several months ago.
You didn't sound like that the last time I heard you.
Right. It's like when they play for us, it's like, yeah, when they come to us, it's like, oh man, Red Diamond, we gotta go.
We gotta listen. And Dakiesha, talk about that.
They do. They get so nervous. I don't understand why that is. Like, if we go out to like hear other DJs play or whatever, first thing they want to do is they always want to shout us out on the microphone. Hey, Red Diamond Promotions, Red and Diamond in the house. I'm like, hey,
we
just trying to stay
we're just normal people. I mean,
I just came out to dance a little bit.
Right.
But it's like, when they see us, they want to up their game because they're like, we really want to be involved with you guys.
Yeah.
And then when you come and play for us, it's when you get to see a whole different version of that person. Like someone that only has been playing techno for the past 4 years that I've been here, all of a sudden is playing R&B house mixes and soulful. And I'm like, wait a minute, who are you?
Yeah.
I didn't see that last weekend. Like, where's that come from? And it's because we allow them to have that freedom to be who they really are, to play what's really in your heart. The only rule that Red Diamond Promotions has, bring your A game, period. I don't care what you play as long as it's house music and you're playing it from your heart. Bring your A game. That's all I require of you. I'm not going to put stipulations on what you need to play, how you need to play. That's not us. We want to see the real you.
Yes.
One of our events is called Back to the Basics.
Yep.
I named it that because I'm an old school house head from the 90s. I'm a club kid. Hopefully my mama, hey mom. You're not listening to some of this, but there were times when I was inside some clubs that I probably should not have been allowed to be inside of. Hey mom, again, please don't call me later. But it was, and you just knew you were going to get that sweaty, dirty, I'm dancing till I just sweat it all out and leaving it all on the dance floor feel. And for some reason with the scene, the house scene, it went awry from that, and it became something that it's not meant to be. And it turned into about drinking and drugs, and everybody's sleeping with everybody. And I was like, when did this happen? You know what I'm saying? Because, and it's funny because coming from being the club kid and the dancer to being the promoter, you see some things that you did not see when you were out there just on the dance floor. So it was like weird to me to know that all of this is going on, because when you're out there and you're dancing and you're literally trying to leave all your worries and problems on that dance floor, you don't see that aspect. Yeah. So I named that event Back to the Basics because we had been out a few times. We had went to, this one local club that we go to all the time. And this younger generation of house heads is coming up. And their idea of partying is drinking, posting the fact that you're drinking in the bathroom on Instagram and Facebook, but you're underage, so you shouldn't be drinking in the first place. And then you're throwing up because you're overly indulging, and you're trying to fight creatures that are 7 times bigger than you. About going to get a girl whose name you don't even remember.
I remember that.
And you can't even remember her face. And you're telling the bouncer to go get her. And he's like, who is she? I don't know the girl I was dancing with. He's like, there's like 300 people.
You know, it's kind of hard to remember her.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't remember her.
I'm like, when I seen it, it hurt my heart. And it hurt my heart because I was like, nobody's here to teach them. And it's one, because they're so at that point where they're like, oh, we know it all, that they don't want to listen. But it's also because the older house heads don't have the patience to teach them. So I was like, so where do they go to actually learn? I said, where do they go to actually learn? And where do the older house heads go to understand them? So I said, you know what? Let's pull it back to the basics. Let's get back to the core reason why this whole culture started in the first place.
Yeah. And to add to
sure.
Now, you know, the age that I'm at now, I mean, it's kind of stereotypical that they would say that, you know, the age I'm at, I'm kind of playing like soulful house music, you know, more mellow and everything. But I mean, I kind of go in different directions in the genres of house. Another thing I try to do too is, even if it's a younger generation, I don't, because what I've noticed about a lot of DJs is my age and older, oh, them kids, they don't know nothing. They don't, you know, I get that a lot. And I'll be the first one to say, well, I'm first person to say, well, where's your rocking chair? You know, my thing is, like, I'm just saying, like you said, you know, someone needs to, you know, to show them the way. And you don't have to be rude about it. There's ways you can show them this is how you do it. And that's what I've been trying to do with the young generation that's coming up, you know, when I do talk to them. The ones that want to learn, the ones that don't want to, then I just back off, you know.
Well, for the ones that want to learn, right? What are some advice that you have to give, not only to the DJs, but, you know, the younger people in general who are coming to appreciate house music, not nationally, but as well as in Jacksonville, Florida as well?
All I say is, in my opinion, be consistent. Don't give up. Just be consistent.
My whole thing is do your homework. Please understand that house music, and no offense to him because I've listened to him, but house music did not start with Daft Punk. House music did not start with Marshmello. Please go back and do your homework and find out that part, and find out your founding fathers of house.
Yes.
Find out about Frankie Knuckles. Find out about who else?
Like Lil Louis,
people like that.
Yep, Lil Vega, Kenny Dope Gonzalez,
Carl Cox,
you know,
Roger Sanchez.
Well,
so,
yeah, but just
But go back and find out the history and the culture of it. I've always been, because I'm not just a house head. I love all music in general, but I've always been that type of person that I like to research. So I'm like, well, I like this sound, but I feel like this sound came from something else. Yeah. And there are times when I'm like, I've heard this, and it might be from some 1970 disco. But then I'm like, but I've heard it before that too. And then you find out that origin of that song really came from classical music. And I'm like, well, you get to see how so many other factors influence so many other things. And it's like, unless you can actually go back and figure out where that came from, you don't really know what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You must be talking about Kevin Bryant.
Leave that alone.
So let's hop on to another question.
Real quick story. There was a song that came out in the 90s. It was called Any Love by a singer, great singer, actually a good friend of mine named Kevin Bryant. Okay. And I guess your grandmother used to play that song.
She did.
And you love that song and everything. And what she didn't know was that the original song Any Love was originally done by Shaka Khan.
Oh, yeah.
And
so a couple of, like, what was it, a year or so into our relationship, he decided to take me back to Atlanta, where we had basically met in the first place. However, he let me meet Kevin Bryant. So at this point, I'm having such a groupie fan fanatic moment because I'm meeting Kevin Bryant. I'm talking about this man's song used to fill my house, every Sunday when my grandmother is cooking and cleaning. I did not know a woman sang that song. I didn't know Shaka Khan and Rufus did that. No offense to Shaka Khan. But my grandmother was a head too. So she would play his version. And then one day when we were just in the house, just kicking it in the house, he was like, yeah, you know that came from Shaka Khan. I said, no, it didn't. So he pulls up on YouTube the actual song, and I'm sitting there like, I didn't know. He was like, what do you mean? I said, all my life I've ever heard his sound, like that, just that sound from him. So when I got to meet him, I'm flaring up and down and jumping like this. I was like, oh my, and I couldn't even get the words out correctly. I think I told him, oh my God, I didn't know you were Shaka Khan. Or something like that.
Oh man.
And he was just laughing and smiling at me because I couldn't get the words out. It's like when you meet your childhood idol, like somebody that literally shaped you into the househead that you are, and you're like, he's right there, like in person. And then you just look up, oh my God, I didn't know you were Shaka Khan. And that is my first.
That's a beautiful moment, though, that you were able to share Red with Simon, for sure.
Yeah.
And so, talk about some other moments. Some of you guys' other favorite moments from either your, your personal journey with music or with House of Rose recordings and with Red Diamond Promotions.
Ooh.
I already know where you're gonna go with this because, like, he's terrible. Just so y'all know, I am not what he's going to call me. I'm not a bruja. He thinks I am a food witch. Because when it comes to House of Rose, I'm sorry, when it comes to Red Diamond Promotions, I am 100% hands-on everything. I do all of our promoting. I make all of our flyers. I do the flyer drops. I keep all of the displays and everything in line like that. And for our events, I cater them as well.
Hey, woman of many hats, many trades.
Yes, that's actually the reason why I got home late today. I was picking up all the stuff for an event that we have on Sunday.
Yep.
So he tells me that I am a food witch because every time somebody eats any of the food that I make, they always say the same thing. First of all, they ask him, how is he not 800 pounds? Where does it all go? And then they make all kinds of crazy comments.
Oh gosh.
Oh yes. Oh my gosh. I had one guy. How many empanadas did he buy? It was 6.
6.
I make for back to the basics. Like for each different event, I made a different item. So for ones that are in like pubs and bars, I do handhelds.
Handhelds, yeah.
Usually, and I'll do like either beef and cheese, chicken and cheese, or steak and cheese.
Okay.
Well, one of his DJs had never had my empanadas, and he came and he bought 6. He said, I'm going to take some home and share with my wife.
Right.
I believe he ate 4 of them before he got home.
Oh, wow.
And he was mad because he was like, I should have bought 12. Mind you, he bought $30 worth of empanadas. And I'm like, okay. So
he was one of the DJs on the lineup.
And then he keeps messaging him and telling him, so I'm not sure if I have an addiction, but I think I have an addiction because I'm sitting here at Epcot and I really am just thinking about empanadas and how I really should have bought 12. And I'm sitting here like, but that was like, what, 2-3 months ago?
Mm-hmm.
And he's still,
people have those moments. You know what I mean? Yeah, good people have those moments.
Yeah.
Then for the club, I do an actual spread.
Right.
Like I'll do like ribs and fried chicken and baked mac and cheese. Like I'll go all out.
Hey.
We were in the club one day.
$13 a plate.
I cannot. We're in the club and it's a gay club. And my bartender that was in the other room, it wasn't even my bartender in the room because this particular club has 7 clubs inside of it.
It's like a complex.
Yeah. So the bartender in the other room came and got a plate of food and then invited his husband up to come get a plate too. Mm-hmm. And then my actual bartender sent one of her friends up to get a plate. They all went back into the other club to eat. Mm-hmm. So like 20 minutes go by and the bartender comes back and he goes to me, girl, you put both your legs and an arm in that food, to the point that I had to turn around and slap my husband. I was like, what? So 20 minutes after that, my bartender's friend comes back and goes, girl, that food was so good. I turned around and slapped the bartender, who turned around and slapped their husband. I said, wait a minute, first of all, I just need to know why my food is making all of you accost each other in the other room.
Right.
You are happening over there. So he thinks that I am a quote unquote food witch. He said I put spells on people.
And,
witch people.
Yeah, and see, also what she does too is like special guests that come down, she actually makes them whatever they want. I mean, they name it, she cooks it. And the thing is, she tries to do a disclaimer. We try to tell them, don't eat the day of, like maybe after the event, eat whatever. And we had this one guy named Nathan who came up, and she made
Uncle
food for him. Yeah, we call him Uncle Nate. But anyway, she made the food. We was at the place, and we gave him the food, and he took it to the car.
Yes. And he was supposed to take it to the car.
And him and his best friend, because she made food for his best friend too, because he came. And they went to the car, and they disappeared for, about 30, 40 minutes.
And wow. Because I was working my door at the time. Now, and I see Uncle Nate's best friend just chucking chicken wings on the ground. I'm like, wow. So his friend came back in. He looked stuffed. He just sat at the bar. But then Uncle Nate, mind you, he's my special guest DJ. Yeah. He comes slowly walking back in. And I'm like, you're right. And he just looked at me and started shaking his head.
Now he was like this.
Yeah, he's just shaking his head. So now he's leaned up against the chair.
Yep.
And he goes, first of all, that food was so good. Oh my God. He said, but you trying to kill somebody. I said, what are you talking about? I said, take it home. Right. Now? So then he goes to me, because you tried to kill me. And he sat down in the bar on bar stool, leaned up against the table and said, just wake me when it's my time to go on for my set. Oh my God. Yes. And then when he finally got up there and he's DJing, because we live stream most of the shows.
And then we put him on YouTube.
He's looking, he's sitting there and he's not moving very much. And I'm like, he's a lot more lively than this. So people are in the actual chat, because we had like 70 something, 80 people in the chat. They were like, and it was a lot of his friends. They were like, what's wrong with Nate? He's not moving. He real sluggish today. And I'm sitting here like, oh Lord, I done killed Uncle Nate.
One piece of advice you might have to give is, eat the food at home, right?
I was like, I gave you the disclaimer. This disclaimer is eat responsibly. You got to eat this at home. So that when you go from eating to sleeping in 2.2. That's it.
Yeah, but that's how funny stories is, like the food, like, when she make food, it's like, and if they've never had it, I mean, that's really the funniest part. But I do feel grateful that, because I know for a lot of events with house music, it's more so come to my event, give me your money. With us, we try to give you an incentive, and I feel like the food is a great incentive. Thank you for coming out. And you can sit down and enjoy food, or you can get up and dance. I mean, we've had people who eat a full plate of food and then get up, they had to dance it off so they can eat some more.
Yeah.
Y'all inspiring the culture.
Honestly, But it does worry me a little bit because, like you said, they go so crazy over your food. What do they eat?
No, I'm like, no, it's just one of those situations where everyone that has ever eaten anything that I've ever made says the same thing. We can taste the love in your food. Yes. And it's because, honestly, I love to cook. I love to cook. I would cook every single day if this man would let me. But I come from a big family. So when I cook for just me and him, I still feel like I'm cooking for my whole family. So there's always leftovers. And he'll be like, no. I'll be like, but you ate that yesterday. So why don't you just let me make you a steak or something?
I'm going to say to you what everybody else has said about your food. Her food tastes good even when it's cold.
Hey, it's good then. Right. No, it is good then. Yeah. And so, y'all, what are some commonly held misconceptions about being a promoter, Diamond, and being a DJ R.E.D, that you guys would like to dispel?
Okay, on the DJ side, the main misconception I can say is that a lot of people just think that, a lot of people out here, the DJs to get the women, or to get free drinks, and they're not, they just sit there and play music and just pump their fists in the air, and
it's not really a whole lot going on other than that.
Yeah, they think that's all it is to to DJing, because then there's some people that feel like when they get behind a turntables or controller and there's a crowd there, they feel like they have the power, and to me that's not really DJing, or and it's happened. I mean, it's happened through my lifetime where I play a song and a pretty woman come up and could you play this? Could you play that? And of course a lot of guys would fall for that. I mean, I try to keep it professional.
Right.
That's really the main misconception, because even before she came along, a lot of women I've tried dating, they say, hey, I'm a DJ, and it's kind of like, oh, you're a DJ, so they think in their mind, they're gonna be sitting at the house, I'm gonna be out partying, messing around with this woman, that woman, but I'm more like, hey, you come with me, I'm not gonna leave you, but that's one of the bad misconceptions about a DJ. It's like, I guess they feel like they have all this power, they can take whatever woman they want, get all the drinks they want. And, it's funny because I've actually had a person tell me, they said, I'm amazed at you because you've been DJing for over 30 years and you've never touched a drink or never touched a girl. Yeah. And they said that's amazing. At the time when he said to me, I'm like, I didn't think nothing of it. But then I started thinking about a lot of DJs. They have touched some type of paraphernalia. Yeah. Yeah. And I've never touched any of it because to me, my high is the music.
Yeah.
So
true. Jennifer Watts and everyone who's joining us, thank you so much for tuning in. Jennifer says she cooks with love. You got a fan in the audience, Miss Diamond. Thank you so much for joining us, Jennifer. Miss Watts.
Okay, now from the promoter standpoint, the misconception that a lot of people have is that the promoting is over when the event starts.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's when the promotion really has to kick in, because the way I promote, I'm not done promoting until the last minute of that event. I'm not done until we're wrapping up, getting ready to go, because every opportunity, especially with all this social media, is an opportunity for me to get on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, send out a mass tweet or something like, hey, here's what's going on. I'll even be at the venue knowing that he might be broadcasting, live streaming. I'll take little 30-second videos and stick them out on different social media sites like, this is what you're missing right now. And I've had so many people message me back like, where you at? And I'll just hit them back with the address and they'll be like, I'm on the way. Because you have to understand that even though you promoted it up until that day, that day is what really counts. Because how many people will say they're coming to an event that you posted up 3 weeks ago and completely forget that event is that night? So now you got to refresh your memory and let them understand, oh, here's what's going on. We're popping right now. This is who my DJ is right now. And let them understand what's going on.
Yes.
So that is the biggest misconception. I've seen so many times people, and my other biggest misconception about promoting, if you're going to promote on social media, please don't just send out your flyers to your friends on your list. If you really want people to notice your event and actually come to it, and you want to really generate a fan base, create an actual event page. Let people know it's out here. Promote that page. I don't care if it's just that day. I don't care if you want to do paid advertisement like I do. I don't care if you want to do just, I'm going to do some flyers and drop them here and there. But make sure you're promoting it to not just people you know, because your friends are always going to support you. However, if you're really trying to get to a new generation and a new crowd, they're not going to know because they're not on your friends list.
Right. So,
and don't try to just promote 3 hours before the event, because I've seen that too.
Yeah.
All of that.
Stay consistent. That is the one thing that we can honestly say that we have been doing. We've stayed consistent, even throughout this whole pandemic.
Yes.
I literally stopped doing parties and clubs and started throwing, I want to say it's almost like charity events. It was charity events on my patio.
Yeah, we did a thing called House for the Cause, and we were basically raising money for the same clubs that gave us an opportunity to play.
Right.
Everybody, would pretty much come over here, and I would, because our back porch, we have like a little lake in the back. It's very beautiful. And I would stream it live. Mm-hmm. And, we just take donations.
And I would just make a whole spread for the DJs and stuff, and whatever that's brought with them. We would eat, have fun, but whatever money we raised went literally to those clubs. Those same clubs that were shut down, that the same clubs that helped us out when we were first starting to Red Promotions. So awesome. We definitely give back to the community. I love giving back to the community.
But the House for the Cause, it wasn't a funny thing though, because everybody was trying to take the Diamond Food Challenge.
Oh, what was the Diamond Food Challenge?
So he had one friend who came over because I did a spread on the table, but those were just appetizers, and I had buffalo chicken sliders, barbecue chicken sliders, chicken and cheese empanadas, steak and cheese empanadas, beef and cheese empanadas. I had chips, dip, salsa, guacamole, but that's just appetizers on my table.
Hey.
I did a spread of food. I did what was it? Lasagna, fried chicken, collard greens, baked macaroni and cheese, potato salad, macaroni salad, an actual salad,
and banana pudding.
And banana pudding.
Yay.
Well, his friend did not realize that when I took the picture to just post up in the group chat that we had, that what was on the table was just the appetizers.
He thought it was the main course.
Yeah. So he came in, he was like, "Oh, this ain't nothing. I got this." Until he came around the corner, I said, "Baby, that's just my appetizers." I said, "Please save room for dinner because there's more." He was like, "What?" And then I showed him all the hot food that was on top of the stove. But then I started going in the refrigerator and pulling out more stuff. And he said, "Oh my God, what is this? The never-ending refrigerator? What is happening right now?"
Look, y'all, we come prepared at the House of Rose recordings. Okay, hey.
I'm like, when you come to my house, you're gonna get fed. Like,
yes,
so hard. He did. He tried to eat as much as he can, and then all of a sudden, I saw him outside on my patio. He was just two-stepping real slow, trying to make some room. He couldn't take the challenge. He actually failed.
And then the crazy part about it is that his wife, didn't she just have surgery?
She had foot surgery. Now, he had told her that he was going to be at my house for like an hour or two and come home. He came to my house and he stayed for what, 5.5, 6 hours?
Yeah, till she started calling.
The event was for 6 hours.
Yeah.
And when she started calling and texting, he said, "Yeah, I got the text and the call, so I gotta go. She's gonna kill me." I said, "Okay." He said, "However, she loves banana pudding." I said, "Well, because I made one." He said, "If you can give me some banana pudding, I might be okay." So I told him to get a bowl off my table and tell me how much you want. He said, "Just fill it up." All I remember is he was like, I walked in the house, she started arguing, I handed her the bowl, and everything got quiet, and she went to the couch. I said, and then all was right with the world. See?
And then all was right with the world.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Her food prevents fights.
Hey, I'm not mad at that.
Yeah. Now here's another funny story, and you know about this. It was actually, I think it was another the white lady that came through the front door.
Oh, so that I promise you, this will probably be the last story about.
Last story.
So, was it that same one? Yeah, it was that same one.
Was?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So at that same House for the Cause, we had a DJ, right? Mm-hmm. He was my first DJ, so he went on at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, House for the Cause ran from 12 o'clock in the afternoon
to 10 o'clock at night.
So it was a 10-hour stretch. And we had, 4 or 5 DJs?
5 DJs.
It was 5 DJs. So he's my first DJ. Mind you, he came to my house early because he said he wanted to first dibs on the food.
When he knew what was going on. He knew what he needed to do.
So he's there and he's eating and stuff, and he was like, I gotta slow down because I know there's more food, so I need to slow down. So he played his set or whatever, and then his girlfriend starts messaging him because at this point he's been in my house 3 hours.
Yep.
And she's trying to figure out where he is.
Right.
And he kept telling her, you gotta come to understand. So she was like, I guess she thought he might have been out cheating on her because he had all day and he did not leave until the event was over. He was at my house for literally, I want to say like 11 hours.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So we had put a sign on our front door because with the music being loud on the patio, and then we had a little portable speaker inside of the house.
You can't hear no one knocking the door.
So people could hear. We were like, we're not going to hear anybody knocking on the door. We put a sign that said, the door is unlocked, just come in. So I'm sitting at the table. Herman's sitting across from me. We're talking to some other DJs, friends of ours that came over. And we see this cute little Caucasian woman come walking into my house. And I'm like, and she looked angry. This is just I'm gonna be stereotypical, but she came in black girl fashion. She came with her hair pulled back in a bun. She came in a t-shirt, some sweatpants, some sneakers, no purse, a cell phone, and her keys. She came ready for war.
She came ready.
She comes walking in. She goes, hi, made a beeline straight to my patio and found him. And the whole time, none of us knew who she was. All she said was hi. And I was like, I don't mind the Caucasian woman just walking in my house. I'm just trying to figure out who she belongs to.
Right.
Like, whose girl is this?
Right.
So she went outside and she's, arguing with him a little bit at first. And then I guess she calmed down because she realized, well, he really was where he said he was. And if he wasn't, he was giving me the address. So it was the cutest thing because she came walking back in with him and she said, hi. She had the cutest little voice, and I promise you it sounds just like this. And she was it was so faint that it was almost a whisper. She said, hi, my name is Amy. I said, hi, Amy. And me being the silly person that I am, I was like, baby, why are we whispering? Are they going to get us? I just need to know who they are so I can prepare.
Especially how you came before, right?
Yeah. So she's all calm now. She was like, I heard there was food. Can I get some food? I said, sure, sweetie, go ahead and help yourself. So her boyfriend takes her into my kitchen. Mind you, for that particular event, I made 180? I think it was 180 chicken wings.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
And, yeah, fried them up all that morning. It was very insane.
Yeah.
So he got her some chicken wings, and all I remember is hearing the cutest whisper scream I've ever heard in my entire life. So we get into the chicken wing, and all I heard was, oh my God. Oh my God, I get it now. So then she got some more chicken wings and went outside and sat down for a while. And then she came back in. She was like, I heard there were margaritas because he had just bought me a margarita maker and I definitely wanted to play with it. She's like, I heard there were margaritas in here. Do you think I could have one? I said, sure, sweetie. So I went in there and made her one and made her with, my little special fruits and stuff like that I did. And I garnished it and made it look all pretty. And she drank it and she said, oh my God, I really get it now. She goes, can I live here? And I said, I mean, you can, but you're going to be on the couch because that's not how it is works.
Right.
She was like, okay. And then she was like, this is so good. I may need another one. She was such a lightweight because she was so tiny and so petite. She couldn't even get through half of it. And then he wound up kind of like carrying but pushing her out the door. He was like, thanks.
She kind of failed that challenge, right? Just like your friend.
So cute.
But as you can see, just from these few stories, and we have many more, this is what makes our event so fun. I mean, it's when we enjoy each other. I mean, we actually go to bed at night just
laughing about this.
Yeah. I'm sure y'all sound like I'm having a ball. I might need my invite immediately. After the pandemic, whatever y'all have.
Down here, come
on, we got you.
Hey. Well, now I've got a challenge for you guys. We have a new section of the Black Motivation broadcast called Rapid Fire Questions. 4 questions, 5 seconds. I'm going to ask Diamond questions first, and then Red will let you go last in honor of this episode. And so, Diamond, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. First question: Isley Brothers or Earth, Wind, and Fire?
Oh, that's just wrong. Because that's like asking you to pick your favorite uncle in the family. Isley Brothers.
Isley Brothers. Okay. Ketchup or mayonnaise?
Ketchup.
Prince or Michael Jackson?
Oh, Prince. Only man in the hills I ever married.
Whitney's music? Whitney Houston's music or Bobby's music?
Whitney all day.
Whitney. All right. Jennifer Watts says, invite me too. She wants to invite too.
Come on, we got you.
We got you. For sure.
All right, DJ Red, it's your turn. You ready? Same question.
So. Okay.
4 questions. 5 seconds. Isley Brothers or Earth, Wind, and Fire?
I say Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Ketchup or mayonnaise?
Ketchup.
Prince or Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson.
Whitney Houston's music or Bobby Brown's music?
I had to go with Bobby.
We got a little bit of different answers this time around. We got a little bit different answers.
Yeah.
So, Diamond, Isley Brothers.
Yes.
Isley Brothers.
Love the Isley Brothers. I actually love both of them, but if I had to choose which ones I would say compliment my moods more often, probably the Isley Brothers.
And DJ Red, you said Earth, Wind, and Fire.
That's because they more DJ friendly. I ain't even know why. I already know what he's doing.
Right. They're more DJ friendly, and they've been sampled a lot. And I love every time they sample it. It's like a good sound.
I already knew where you was going with that one.
And then we got Prince and Michael Jackson going on. Diamond, let's start with you. You went with Prince. You already gave your reasoning. You know what I mean?
Oh, that was such a beautiful man. Such a beautiful, tiny, heels wearing man.
And Michael.
Well, for my thing with Michael Jackson, and I'm talking about the young Michael Jackson. I'm talking about like the disco era. Right. That I've always been a fan of that funky sound, and a lot of old Michael Jackson, even back to Jackson 5, had a funky sound to it. So that's why I said Michael Jackson.
I mean, but my real reason for picking Prince is the fact that he's different. And I love different. This is why I'm marrying a bald-headed black man that has a red beard and mustache.
Well, not right now. I'm losing my powers.
It's all right. I like you look distinguished. You know that.
There we go. And then we had Whitney's music and Bobby's music. Talk a little bit about that.
I love me some Whitney, and I love the fact that you get to hear the passion in her voice. You also get to see the different changes that she went through with her music, because she started off with gospel and somehow ended up with like pretty much R&B music in her life, but she always kept it classy, and that's what I love about her. And my aunt, who's probably watching, I love you, literally moved to Georgia because she said she wanted to move behind Whitney's house with Bobby. Scream over the fence, leave him. To Georgia because she said she wanted to save Whitney.
Hey, you know. And we got Bobby Brown on the other side.
I've always been a fan of New Edition.
Yes.
And taking it back that far. And I don't know, when he started going solo, I just like stuff like that's my prerogative. Like, I'm gonna do it my way. His songs, kind of had that, like it's my way at a highway. And at that time, I kind of liked that. It was
it's nostalgic for you at that point where you were.
Right. Yeah.
So. Unfortunately, though, we have reached the end of this week's episode. This special, super duper special couple feature.
Darn. I was starting to enjoy myself.
Look at you.
We never got to do it again.
Yes.
Me too, for sure. But we got a couple questions left, so we're not at the total end. Okay. Last question, second to last question, though. What words of motivation would you like to leave our audience with on y'all's special episode?
Words of motivation.
I'll let you go first on that one.
Words of motivation. Oh my God. Yeah, you got to go.
So I think my words of motivation would be never give up on your dreams, and don't allow someone to tell you what you can or cannot do. I started Red Diamond Promotions for this man, and it was because nobody wanted to give him a chance. And that hurt me to my core because I'm like, he's dope, and I know he's dope, and other people need to know that. And I made him a promise. I said, I will make sure the world knows how great you are.
Yes.
So I took this, and not knowing anything at all about promotion, how to do it, whatever, I said, I don't care how long it takes me, I will get him out there. And it went from having one event that was a complete flop because of some random circumstances that happened. And I said, you know what? Nothing's ever a bad thing. When it comes to me, I love constructive criticism. So there's nothing that's a bad thing. I said, okay, we'll look at the positive, we'll look at the negative, and we'll revamp. And it went from us trying so hard to find one venue to now we have 4 events per month every weekend.
Hey.
Sometimes I'm like, it's not enough weekends because I have other venues that are calling me like, hey, we want you guys. And I'm like, I need sleep. Like at some point, I need
and don't forget the magazine I was.
Yeah, so that, and I was like, okay, well, I wanted other people to know about him, so I got him in Folio Weekly,
which is a local magazine.
And put him out there. Then I said, you know what? I don't want to think inside the box like everybody else. I've always been an outside thinker. I said, well, I want the world to hear him. How can I do that?
Yes.
So I went from letting him do internet radio. I said, well, why not do actual radio? And I reached out and I spoke with Sir Charles Dixon from WBLS in New York, who linked me up with Paul Porter here in Orlando. And now he has a radio show every Sunday from 12 to 2 on 98.5 The Wire.
98.5 The Wire, and the rest was history.
Yeah. I'm like, so don't ever let someone tell you you can't do anything, because I'm a walking testimony of showing what I can do, but don't ever tell me what this man, my future husband, can't do, because I'm going to show you what he can, and then I'm going to elevate it and make you feel like, oh, maybe I should have listened.
You know. But I mean, everything she said, I mean, I was, that's kind of how I feel, that's how I feel. And
for sure.
Yeah, and the funny thing about it is that now they look at her as the number one promoter in Jacksonville. And I'm like, now when did this happen?
I have become the most sought out promoter in Jacksonville, and I, from Folio Weekly, after doing some research, am the only African American female. I'm not only just the only female, but I'm the only African American female promoter. Yes. So I do wear that title with honor. And I do honor that title every time that I step out and do any kind of event.
Yep. But like she said, follow your dreams. Don't give up. People, haters are always going to say something bad. Don't listen to them. Just keep striving.
And always remember, a closed mouth does not get fed. So I stepped out on faith when I reached out to certain people to try to get him that radio show. And lo and behold, I got it. Yep. I got it.
You gotta have faith, right? Faith the size of a mustard seed and a little bit of determination and grit, and you can do whatever it is that you would like to do. So what's coming up next for you guys, and how can we share, follow, and support you on social media and the web?
You can give her your links for your fan page and everything for Facebook.
What? Just shout them out?
Yeah, just shout them out.
Shout them out.
Like our R.E.D official on Facebook, House of Rose recordings on Facebook.
Yep. House of Rose. Yeah, House of Rose. R.E.D official, Facebook. Instagram is R.E.D. _official.
Yep.
I can't remember. I can't even remember them all in my head.
We're gonna drop them in the comments, guys.
Yes.
Everyone can go ahead and follow you guys. But first, I want to thank you so much, for the richness, for the storytelling, right? For y'all sharing y'all's heart and y'all's art through DJing with us. It has just been a beautiful episode, and I want to just thank you guys for taking your time out and sharing that with us.
Thank you for having us.
You, and when you come down.
This has been an episode of the Black Motivation Broadcast, y'all. We are out. Thank you.